Hello? 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 All right, just testing things, guys. This is for the period 2 and period 7 classes. Checking to see how many people are online. Get rid of this stuff right here. All right. Just let me know if you're here, guys, all right? I'm about to get started with the chat. Let me know if you can hear me. We're looking at the same worksheet I gave yesterday, week 26, sheet 1. We're looking at problems 7 through 10. Just let me know if you're here, guys, all right? I'm about to get started with the chat. Let me know if you can hear me. We're looking at the same worksheet I gave yesterday, week 26, sheet 1. We're looking at problems 7 through 10. Let me know if you're here, guys, all right? I'm going to try to fix that echo. But let's get started. Andrew, I think you're in the wrong session. Your session starts at 11 o'clock. It's 2 microphones that it has on. Let me see some real fast. I'm going to try to fix that echo. But let's get started. Andrew, I think you're in the wrong session. Your session starts at 11 o'clock. Okay. So this is going to be recorded, and it'll be available if you, in case you missed it during this time frame. Again, you always leave comments, and I'll try to get back to you guys. So, as we discussed yesterday, when we're looking at irrational expressions, we need to make sure that we have the same denominators. In the case of question 7, again, this sheet was also assigned through Google Classroom. In the case of question 7, you have 6. You have 6 over 4a minus 2 over 3a. Again, a problem like this is quite simple. What you need is the lowest common denominator, which in this case is going to be the product of both 4a and 3a. in this case would be 12a. So that's going to be my lowest common denominator. And that's what I'm going to use as a baseline for my numerators, 12a. I know that for my denominator, I multiplied it by 3 of the initial expression, and then for the bottom expression, I multiply that by 4. Whatever I do to my denominators, I also have to do to my numerators. So my numerator is going to be, for the top one, is going to be 24. Sorry. Well, my bad. Sorry guys. Sorry about that. Sorry, I have to multiply this by 3. My numerator is going to be 18 for the top, and it's going to be 8 for the bottom numerator. And we're looking at a solution. It's going to be 18 minus 8 over 12a, which in this case would be 10 over 12a. Now that can be reduced. So that can be reduced. We want to know the greatest common factor that can go into both 10 and 12. In this case, would happen to be just the number 2, right? So when we reduce this right here, we divide it by 2, and it's going to equal 5 over 6a. Oh, I already have 5. That's our solution. Let me know if you have a question. Anybody? Nikita, you good? Jeffrey, you good? Anybody else? I can't see anybody else because they haven't informed me that you're here. So just let me know. Come on, then I'm going to move on to question 8. All right. If there's no questions, let's move on to question 8. Try to get rid of everything here. All right. That question says 4a over 3a minus 5 over 2a. Again, the lowest common denominator is going to be the product of both 3 and 2, which is going to be 6a. Then I'm going to multiply it, the denominator by 3, And I have to do the same to the numerator by 3. So then give me 15 for my numerator. For the top, I have to multiply my denominator by 2, because that's how I got 6a. And I have to do the same for my numerator by 2. Left with 8a. So then 8a minus 15 over 6a. 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 All right, it's 15. Oh, sorry. I put 4a there. Sorry, it's 8 minus 15. Sorry, guys. This is 8. Okay, so it's 8 minus 15. Sorry, which is gonna give me negative 7 over 6a. All right. Any questions, guys? Any questions? Let me know. Yeah, I think, Chris, I think you're part of the 11 o'clock class. It's a slightly different topic for you guys. For Chris and Andrew, it's a different topic. It's not what I'm doing with your class. So, anyway, a question on this irrational expressions. Because I'm going to go on to question 9. So let me know. Okay, question 9. Let me get rid of this. So question 9 says 10 over 7x, right, minus 3 over 5x. Once again, this problem is not that difficult. We know that our lowest common denominator will be, right? Anybody can tell me that? Or what do you think the lowest common denominator for this will be? Anybody? Okay, so it's going to be 35x, right? 35x. Going to multiply this one by 7 by 5 by 7 by 5. Get 50 up top, 21 on the bottom. So again, it's simply 50 minus 21, which in this case will give us 29 over 39x. over 35x. Sorry, my bad. I misspeak a lot. Right? Let's look at problem 10. Any questions? There's no questions. I see there's only 2 people in the class right now. Are there any other questions, guys? All right. So then we're gonna go on to question 10. Oh, okay. Between the 3 and the 5. We just want to get the lowest common denominator, right? So we know the lowest common denominator happened to be essentially the product of 7 and 5, which gave us 35. So I'm looking at the denominator of 5x, and I'm telling myself, how can I make 5x into 35x? And the only way I can do that is by multiplying the denominator by 7. That gives me 35x. The moment I multiply my denominator by 7, whatever I do to my denominator, I have to do to my numerator. So I get 21. Likewise, for the first part of the equation, the 10 over 7x, the denominator is 35x. I tell myself, how did I get from 7x to 35x? And I realize I have to multiply by 5. Once again, whatever I did to my denominator, I must do to my numerator. And so I get 50 up top. So then I subtract the 2 and I get 29 over 35x. Did I answer your question, Nikita? Because then we're going to go on to the last question. That reads 7 over 12x minus y over 6x squared. So now for the lowest common denominator, it has to have the highest exponent, in this case right here, because both terms have to be able to go into it. So the lowest common denominator in this case is going to have to be 12x squared, because the 6x squared has to be able to go into it. If I was just going to leave it as 12x, 6x squared would not be able to go into 12x. So then I say to myself once again, what times 6x squared is going to give me 12x squared? The only thing that makes sense is to multiply it by 2. Whatever I do to my denominator, I have to do my numerator, so I get 2y up top. And I have to multiply the top portion by x. By x, right? By x. X. It'll be 7x. So then I'm going to be left with an expression of 7x minus 2y over 12x squared. Or answer 4. Everyone good under these questions? Let me know if anybody has a question. Do these 4 problems. Again, these were also assigned on a sheet. So in essence, if you're doing the sheet method, right? Because obviously there's the study.com, which you all should have links to, and there's free accounts for all of you. If you're doing the sheet method, which some kids in my other class, period 2 class, have done, what you guys can do is just download the file, the sheet, the worksheet, take a picture, do the problem, do the work, take a picture of it, and upload it back. And then I should be able to put a grade on that, and I'll reflect that on Pupil Path. Let me know if you have any questions, again, on this topic, guys. I'm going to start to get ready for my other class, which starts in a few minutes. Ask me any questions you have. I believe this lesson will be archived on the channel, too. So you can go back and look. Any other questions? I'm not even sure who's here anymore, but ask me. If not, then I'm going to sign off for today. Make sure to complete the study.com assignment as well as the worksheets where you can upload. Should be able to upload it right back into the classroom, and I'll get it. All right, okie dokie then. We'll end like a minute or so early. And, well, if I have no more questions, then that's it for this work.